You're listening to News Talk 1340 WJRW. John Gonzalez, MLive.com, the Cannabis Press, and the Going Gonzo radio show weekdays at 1 o'clock. And joining us in the studio is James the Game Gemmel from the WJRW newsroom. James, you have a local update there?
Yeah, it's been a busy afternoon for breaking news. We reported about a half hour ago that Kwame Kilpatrick, the former Detroit mayor, has been sentenced to 28 years in prison, and also some incidents on the roadway. As we mentioned earlier, southbound US 131 south of Hall Street, there's a rollover accident there. Fire engines are running interference. You may get a bit of a backup. That's southbound 131 near Hall Street. Also an accident involving a semi and a car westbound I-96 approaching Fulton Street. That's westbound 96 approaching Fulton Street. A semi and a car in the median, according to radio dispatch traffic. And also on westbound I-96, as you pass Plainfield Avenue, a brush fire along the shoulder. So watch out for those incidents.
All right, James, thank you for the update. We appreciate it, especially when you're out there driving around. You want to know what's happening? We'll fill you in. Well, Judy is our producer, and Judy, you have a special guest in the studio. Her name is Emma Roseauer from the Hunger Response Director at the Access of West Michigan. And Emma, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we are excited because one of the things that they do over at the Forest Hills Fine Arts Center is have community partners for all their concerts. Tonight's the first show of the season, and you guys are the community partner. And, boy, you must be excited about having an opportunity to talk about Access of West Michigan.
We love the opportunity to partner with such a great group to be able to promote all of the wonderful things they're doing and talk a little bit about what we're doing for the community as well.
Well, I know you're in the middle of your county-wide food drive because hunger hasn't gone away. First of all, tell us, what is Access of West Michigan and what is the community-wide food drive?
Access is a Kent County nonprofit that's really focused on eliminating hunger and reducing the impact of poverty here in our community. So we are focused entirely locally, and we coordinate a network of about 75 food pantries in Kent County. We also do congregational casework and poverty education. So we're reaching a lot of different networks, doing a lot of different great work. And we do have quite a few big events going on right now that people can get involved with. You mentioned our countywide food drive. We also do a huge holiday program that touches about 8,000 low-income families in our county. So a lot going on that we're working with.
I think that Access has been around for several years now. So you're not a new player in this area, and you've been doing great things for a long time. But I think a lot of people don't realize the number of folks here in the area who kind of live on the edge there. And I remember one of the most striking things driving by one of your food pantries, and it was a downpour rain, and I drove by the pantry at one of the churches, and there was a huge line of people with umbrellas to get their weekly food because they know it's there at a certain time. And I thought, wow, even in this pouring rain, people are coming out because they have to.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. And we see that all year round. In the winter, we have our sign-ups going on for holiday food for Thanksgiving or Christmas, and we have 8,000 families that will be signing up. That's a lot of individuals in Kent County that are expressing that they have a need for emergency food and for holiday food. So our numbers have increased quite a bit from last year, but we are currently serving about 55,000 Kent County residents with our pantries. So that's about 1 in every 11 Kent County residents that's accessing emergency food. That's huge. That's our neighbors, you know?
Yeah, no, I definitely know. And I think the other part of this, too, is what you guys do at Access of West Michigan is, and maybe this is selfish, but we know where the money goes. And I think that a lot of times in the news where you see the people on the side of the street and you want to help them, right? It's human nature to want to help, especially here in West Michigan. Mm-hmm. But we don't know where that money goes, and I think a lot of us get a little, jaded by that. But when we support Access of West Michigan, it's being put to use right away.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And our pantry partners are really focusing on resourcing. They're going deeper than just handing out food. They have programs and resources that are a part of their community centers that are doing financial education and exercise and nutrition classes and all sorts of things that are really holistic and focusing more on helping empower people to get out of lifestyles or just bouts with poverty. So the work that we're doing in the community is deeper and wider than what people often see. So we love it when people can get involved with us, see all of the work that we're doing, and really help contribute to that.
If you're just tuning in, you're listening to News Talk 1340 WJRW, the Going Gonzo Show. We're talking to Emma Rosauer, the Hunger Response Director for Access of West Michigan. And Emma, what does a Hunger Response Director do?
Oh, day in
Probably
the life.
everything, right?
I mean, one day I could be schlepping around chicken to the pantries. One day I'm in meetings just advocating on their behalf. But really our work is around helping make sure that the pantries are serving the community as efficiently and effectively as possible. So right now we're campaigning to get 80 tons of food donated this week to supply our pantries for the months to come. Pretty soon we'll be asking the community to provide holiday food donations to make sure that our pantries can serve their nearest neighbors well. So we have a variety of things, but we want to make sure that we're getting both the community and the pantries connected.
Now, tonight's concert, Forest Hills Fine Arts Center, Mary Chippen Carpenter and Sean Colvin, what will the goal be? I mean, you're going to come out there and probably talk a little bit about, what you guys do, but what do you want people to come away with when they come out there?
Mm-hmm. We really want to empower the community to know that they can be a part of seeing an end of hunger and poverty in our community. So whatever ways people want to get involved, whether it's contributing monetarily, getting your small group, your business, your church, whatever network you're a part of connected, to really help us meet our goals. But what we're doing is helping our community meet the goal of making sure that everyone here has enough. So we just want to empower our community to help us in the work that we're doing and make sure that we have better neighborhoods here in Kent County.
Now, Emma, I know a lot of you folks that are in this in this type of business, and every day is rewarding. I'm sure every day you're reminded of how important it is.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. There's impact that we're making and that so many in this community are making on a daily basis. And sometimes it's overwhelming to think of the numbers, but we have to look back and look at all that has been accomplished, and the ways that our community is succeeding are just as enormous as the things that we are still trying to resolve.
And what are the most common stories you hear from folks when they're out there,
We hear a lot of surprise at the variety of situations that the people we serve are in. I think it's easy to assume that stories are going to be similar, or that there's a vast margin of people that are all facing the same situations, when in reality, every person is different. Every crisis situation, tragedy, is completely different, separate, and needs to be treated as such. So we get a lot of surprise, but we also are able to make individualized attempts at seeing people come out of poverty or whatever struggle they're in and move beyond to become a part of this community in a successful way.
Well, Emma, look forward to learning more and going to the concert tonight and seeing what you guys are gonna bring you guys up on stage and share your story with the fans there at the Forest Hills Fine Arts Center. Where can people get a hold of you guys? How can they make donations? Where can they go to try to help?
The best way to connect with us is at our website, accessofwestmichigan.org. And, of course, we have lots of social media as well. People can connect into us on Twitter and all of that stuff. But all of our information on upcoming events and happenings are on our website.
Great. All right. Well, thanks again for coming in today. We appreciate it. And, let's try to help out as much as we can.
Great. Thank you.
All right. All right, folks, that is it for today's show. We'll have local headlines here in a few minutes. Again, if you can help them out, accessofwestmichigan.org. It's a great cause to help the needy here in West Michigan. Coming up next, we have local headlines from the WJRW News team. ABC News at the top of the hour. Then Judy, our producer, what's after that?
The Mike Huckabee Show.
That's right, here on News Talk 1340 WJRW.